This guy, this bad boy, appears to be much more than I thought of him. When it comes to secrecies in relationships, you will most probably hear people arguing for total transparency. But is it that healthy? And why should we have all books open? Why should we have all cards on the table? This is why you're watching this video. We'll be discussing the consequences of such attitude and going through the psychology of a person who thinks that you shouldn't keep any secrets from your partner.
Most of the time, we have to keep so many things private in order not to offend and hurt people. We can't reveal very much about who we really are. Keeping secrets is just the price we have to pay in order to be liked. Then imagine the day you meet a very special person and fall in love. What makes them special is that at last you no longer have to lie around them. You can admit to important truths. You'll be rewarded for sharing your deepest self. The weirder the secret, the better. Nothing seems too shocking or explicit.
This is how dating works. You cannot go just straight ahead to someone and say, "Hey, would you like to hook up with me?" Or, "Hey, I find you to be a very hot piece of ass. Would you like to follow me to my place and take a sip of the elixir of love?" Do some people do that? Yes, those who have innate charisma. But is it applicable to everyone? Hell no. You have to play the game of love. And I've talked about it in previous videos. Playfulness and gaming lies in our nature. It's the process of uncovering the characteristic of the other person, which happens in a very covert manner. Like, for example, being a guy, you don't tell a girl that you have an education, you have a good career going on, you have a lot of money saved up, you're a good lover, you are great with understanding what women need. You unveil those qualities about you by interacting with her and letting her to discover those quirks on her own. And trust me, you'll be appreciated even more. It's a much greater feeling to discover that this guy, this bad boy, appears to be much more than I thought of him. Same exact thing can be applied to console or PC gaming. You don't start out with a character who has all levels maxed out. It happens progressively over time, where the game allows you to experience all those small details every level. Life is theater, my friend, and you have to play it.
You can explain that you find a mutual acquaintance arrogant or mean, or that you think some supposed masterpiece of a book is actually very boring. You can explain that you like pulling hair during sex, or have always been excited by ropes. Love is born out of a new possibility for honesty. But this sharing of secrets sets up in our minds, and in our collective culture, a powerful and potentially very problematic ideal. The notion that if two people properly love one another, then they must always tell each other the truth about everything.
Human beings are not innately those who reveal all secrets. Those people who do that are doing it from the place of lacking some kind of belongingness. And by the act of virtue of revealing some kind of sexual pervasiveness about yourself, you think that you'll be more accepted by your partner. But in reality, that can backfire on your ass, both in the moment or even more so in the upcoming future. Let's face it, most relationships don't last lifelong. If you're deviant, maybe a sexually unorthodox character may seem somehow cute in the moment. Believe me, when that partner of yours loses all emotions for you, that picture can change, shift in a blink of an eye. You're being honest, you're being cute, you're being trustworthy, you're being transparent, you're being lovely. Just because I have feelings towards you. When those feelings dissipate, I might change that opinion about you. And yet again, even if you want to share something with your partner, you just don't drop the bomb the first opportunity you get. You have to figure out, sense out the perfect timing, which becomes better as time flies by and you get to know each other and become comfortable in each other's company.
Yet over the long term, there are always going to be things we'll feel have a power to hurt and deeply offend those we love. This brings us up against a fundamental paradox within the modern understanding of love. Keeping secrets seems like a betrayal of a relationship. At the same time, the complete truth will, if shared, place a union in mortal danger.
You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Those who think that a partner shouldn't keep any secrets from you, most often than not, think that because of controlling issues. They want to keep the power at any cost, even if that may jeopardize the partner's honor and integrity. Control may feel good and empowering for them who have it, but not for them who is being controlled. I mean, of course, there are differences between secrets. If you are in a committed monogamous relationship and you decide to cheat on your partner and then keep a secret, yeah, in that sense, it's backstabbing and dishonesty that might hurt your relationship in the future. Or first and foremost, it's dishonesty towards yourself by not being truthful about the status of the relationship that you are in. But if you have done some questionable things in the past through your job or some other commitments that you were holding up to, then it's up to you, your choice, to not disclose that kind of information.
We are perhaps so conscious of the bad reasons for hiding things that we haven't paid enough attention to the noble reasons why, from time to time, true loyalty may lead one to say very much less than the whole truth. We're so impressed by honesty, we forget the virtues of politeness, which doesn't have to mean a cynical withholding of important information, just a dedication to not rubbing someone up against the full and more hurtful aspects of our natures. It's ultimately no great sign of kindness to insist on showing someone else our entire selves at all times. Repression, a certain degree of restraint, and a dedication to editing one's pronouncements belong to love as much as a capacity for explicit confession.
In situations where a guy gets a question from his lovely girlfriend about her looking fat or not, he might be very honest and transparent and say, yes, you have been putting some weight on. And I think that you should take care of that. Such honesty ruins relationships. She will not feel attractive anymore, and instead of being productive, proactive, she might fall into a downward spiral of negative habits, eating too much, partying too much, and not taking care of her health. The better approach would be to encourage taking care of herself regardless of the circumstances, and maybe join him to the local gym. Let me paint another picture. Instead of just shoving some pill down someone's throat, you make them a cake, put in the pill inside it, and then serve it to them. It's like making a good content on YouTube and trying to attract as many viewers as possible by having clickbait titles. You know that your content is good, but to get some eyes on it, you have to play some word tricks.
The person who cannot tolerate secrets, who in the name of being honest always has to share everything, information so wounding it cannot be forgotten, that person is no friend of love. Furthermore, if we suspect, and we should rather regularly, if the relationship is a good one, if we suspect that our partner might be lying a bit as well, maybe about what they're thinking about, or how they judge our work, or about where they were last night, well then it's perhaps best not to lay into them like a sharp inquisitor, however intensely we yearn to do just that. It may be kinder, wiser, and perhaps more in the true spirit of love to pretend we simply didn't notice.
There are different levels of trust between two people. Disclosing all the past secrets isn't the one that keeps relationship going, isn't the one that builds it strong. As I said previously, when you try to press your partner about revealing all the small nuances of the past, it's more about control issue than genuinely wanting a transparency from your partner. The better approach would be to keep the distance, to grant them the breathing room and let them come to you. If there's something that they're hiding from you, something important, by showing support, acceptance, tolerance, and caring nature, your partner most probably will reveal the things when the time is right. Oh, by the way, about those games. You can watch that video here. And tell me what you think about this topic. Do you think that we should be totally transparent with our partner? And that doesn't have to be only in intimate relationships. That concerns all kind of relationships. Yours truly, out.